Perfect. So I cleared up enough space so we can get this thing recorded. Like I stated, you got Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the founders of the Royalty Movement, where we're all about economic empowerment, all about putting people in a position to win, all about helping you establish a solid financial foundation. If you know the mission statement, then you understand the importance of establishing a solid financial foundation. That's what my econ is all about. Tonight's training, we're going to talk to you about inflation, overcoming inflation. Real quick in the chat, what are some things that you know right now are currently inflated? What are some direct experiences you have associated with inflation? Drop it in the chat. If you want to unmute, you can, for now, until I make it to where nobody can unmute. But let me know if you personally have recognized the cost of certain things being inflated. If so, what specifically? Rent. Okay, absolutely. They say now some people are paying more in rent than people who are buying homes. And it's been like that, but it's on another level right now. What else? What else we got? Mortgage, food, insurance premiums, absolutely. Gas, mortgage again, food, clothes, everything. Food, gas, car notes. Yep, that's a good one. Absolutely. Did somebody say groceries? Did we say groceries? You are food, yeah. So food, groceries. So a lot of things are inflated. Medical insurance, yep. Interest rates. A lot of people haven't said interest rate, but that's a form of inflation. And what you got to understand about inflation is it's really a way that they extract money out of you without you paying attention. So even if they give out certain extra checks for people, they got a way of getting their money back. They know how to push a couple of buttons and make sure that the money that they put out in the form of some type of, stimulus or whatever the case may be, they know how to get it back eventually. In some way, shape, form, fashion, they're going to get it back. Can you tap that to go out right? In some way, shape, form, fashion, they're going to get that back. But you got to be aware of inflation, because if you're not aware of inflation, then you don't realize how it's taking your money. You don't realize how the money that you're working for is not stretching as far as it could, even though you might have got a pay raise, even though you might have got a promotion or a better job or more income. You have to be aware of it. Otherwise, it robs you of your wealth. That's what tonight's training is about. Overcoming inflation and understanding how my econ, as well as the things that we bring specifically to the royalty movement, can position you to overcome inflation, because we care about your wealth. See, it's a lot of things and people out here who tell you one thing, but we really care about you achieving your goals using the my econ principles. But sometimes you extend yourself beyond my econ and you're using the principles, but you're creating another stream of cash flow that allows you to overcome inflation and hit your financial goals a lot faster. So let's go ahead and get this screen shared. Drop some fives in the chat as soon as you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, drop a 5 in the chat for me. All right, perfect. I see the 5s in the chat. So let's talk about it. Inflation, the silent income killer. Like I stated, inflation is robbing you of your wealth. That's why it's called the silent income killer, because a lot of people don't calculate this. They understand that gas is costing more. They understand when groceries go up. They understand when, rent or mortgages increase, but they don't realize that inflation is one of those things that you have to account for today, but you also have to think about it futuristically. That's why it's important to be investing now, because you want to be on the right side of inflation. See, if money and things are going up, that means it's somewhere that you can put your money to allow your money to be inflated as well. See, you want your money to inflate, not just pay inflation prices. I want y'all to wrap your mind around that. So if things are going up, costs of goods and services are going up, it's somewhere you can possibly be investing your money that can allow your money to inflate. That way, if you put $1,000 here, $2,000 there, that $2,000 turned to $4,000, just like the price of something might have went from $2 to $4. It's still double what it used to be, but your money doubled along with it. So when you see inflation, don't just look at it from an angle of how much more you have to spend, figure out where you can put your money in order to maximize the return on your investment so your money can be inflated as well. So here are just some statistics of some history in terms of prices. And part of this slide got a little thrown off. So that 198 is really 1980. So back in the 1980s, it was a great time for the automobile industry. The average model new 1980 car cost around $7,000. Now that sounds crazy, you know, like $7,000 will buy a used car, and probably not the best used car today. But in 1980, $7,000 and a gallon of gas was about 90 cents. In 1980, the Ford Motor Company turned its emphasis to economy. The goal was to make a car that got 20 miles per gallon up to 19 miles per gallon in 1979. So that's the car prices in the 1980s. The average $7,000 for a new car. In 1940, well, 1980, the income, the median home value, not the income, my apologies, the home value, meaning the value of the home or the cost of a home, was about $47,000. So $7,000 for a vehicle. The average cost of a home or the value of the home was $47,000. So about $54,000, you got you a brand new car, and you got you the average cost of a home for less than an annual salary. Most people make $50,000, give or take. That would have allowed you to purchase a brand new car and a home in cash back in the 1980s. Now, the 1980 family median income was $21,000. So they were earning about $21,000 per year. A new car, $7,000, home, $47,000. But just to kind of understand what the average cost and the income was during that time. In the year of 2000, that's what that 200 is missing a zero. The year 2000, the car prices were about 21,000. So from 1980 to the year 2000, the vehicle average cost raised significantly. It tripled. So it went from 7,000 to 21,000 for the car price. That's inflation. Things costing 3 times the amount. Now, this is what I want you to make note of. The cost of the home that was in 1980 was $47,000. By 2000, it had risen to the average cost of the home being $120,000. Let's just round it up, $120,000. So it more than doubled. So the car price tripled. The home price doubled. But tell me what happened to the income. Did the income triple like the car prices? Type that in the chat. Let me know. Did the income triple like the car prices did? I see no. Absolutely not. The income didn't triple, but the car prices did. Now, the income did on average double. So that's significant. But 42,000, that was in the 2000s. It's people who don't make $42,000 now, and the cost of things or the average cost of things are higher than the 2000s. And we can all agree on that. But 42,000 was the average income in the year 2000. Let's look at 2022. So just last year, a new car price keeps climbing with the average now at almost 47,000. That's the average car price for a new car. That's the average price. The average home price, and they looked at a couple of different quarters. The average home price in quarter 4 2020 was over 400,000, 403,000. In the fourth quarter of 2021, 477,000. And that was the tip top. So you see, in 2021, the average home price was a little bit under $500,000. So the house prices more than doubled again. However, when it comes to the income, it didn't double. The income went to about an average of $74,000 in 2022. That's not double what 47,000 is. So the house price went from about 120,000 to the average price in 2021 being 477,000. So more than double, but the income did not double. That's important to make note of. So sometimes when people are at their job, they'll be there for 10, 20 years. Because you got to understand, we're talking about from the year 2000 to 2022. Well, if you've been at your job for 20 plus years, depending on, or you've been working a job for 20 plus years, you might feel like you make more because they tell you, yeah, I'm making $17 an hour. Well, if you used to make $12 an hour in 2000 and you're making 17, 18, $19 an hour, or even $20 an hour today, you're still hit by inflation because your income did not double. Your income did not outpace inflation. So you're really making less based on your money being able to buy less goods and services. So I want y'all to make note of that. Think about where you work. If you worked at your job for 10 plus years, how much has your pay increased since when you were working there 10 years ago? Did it double like the cost of certain things? If not, that's something to make note of. Very important. If it did, great. You know that you're on track and hopefully you're outpacing inflation. But for most people, they think they got a raise, but they really didn't because inflation ate into their raise 5 years ago. So if you're not aware of this, then your job, your employer can make it seem as though they're doing you a favor when in all actuality, you're not outpacing inflation. They have a way to outpace inflation in the form of tax deductions, in the forms of tax incentives, in the form of having multiple employees, outsourcing, downsizing when they fire people, or using artificial intelligence, like the grocery stores are using self-checkout. They got the people that shopping, they're doing the work and bagging their own groceries. They got a way to outpace inflation. You better believe it. But you have to find a way to outpace inflation. Otherwise, it robs you of your wealth. Very important. So let's talk about overcoming inflation. But we don't want to just talk about the problem without providing a solution. Now, you have to understand the power in my econ. And I'm not going to go into the income shifting from a slides perspective, but you got to know that income shifting in my econ does help you outpace inflation. So since income shifting is not included in the slides, I need to see it in the chat. What are some things that the my econ strategies do as it relates to income shifting that can help you increase your cash flow, aka help you overcome inflation? Need to see that in the chat before I proceed. What are some ways that income shifting helps you increase your cash flow to outpace inflation? See, it's a method to everything that my econ does. When we have you to do things that are included in income shifting without me giving away the answers, it's because we want you to outpace inflation and hit your goals faster than you typically would just by having a job. Hit your goals typically faster than you typically would just by having a business solely. We want you to understand all of the areas of finances because this is how you operate as the wealthy. Now, when we say how to outplace or how to overcome inflation like the wealthy, like the title of the training listed, that doesn't mean you already have to be a millionaire. That doesn't mean you already have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in your investment account. You can do that now. You can operate like the wealthy on any level. You can be negative net worth and start operating like the wealthy. But you have to have that mindset shift. If you're scared to play the game of wealth and scared to operate in the world of capitalism, which, that is that's what the economy is ran on, capitalism, understanding how money moves, how money works. If you're scared to play around those rules, you will be taken advantage of. If you don't learn the rules to the game, then you definitely will be taken advantage of. And they don't have a problem taking advantage of it. And I didn't know is not an answer. Yeah, you didn't know at one point, but now that you're aware, then it's your responsibility to learn. See, we take it upon ourselves to learn certain things that we did not know, even if it's hard. And that's a whole nother conversation. I'll talk about that more. We're learning some things that's like a new language right now because we want to increase our value, increase what we're able to do, increase how we're able to help and empower people as we help and empower ourselves. Because there's no excuses, and not knowing is not an excuse. Too many options to learn what it is that you do not know. So let's look and see what are some of the things that you listed that mention how my econ can help with inflation. So I see W-4 correction, absolutely. Tax breaks, absolutely. Eliminate debt, yes. Give yourself a pay raise, yep. Debt elimination, generate business income, yes indeed. Build a team, sell products, yep. Operate your business effectively by making money in it. Grow, scale, expand, 100%. Shifting your hard-earned money from the entity that's robbing us to something to help grow our money as far as cash-producing assets. Lami, talk to them. Absolutely. So taking your money from leaking or going away to turn it into some income producing assets or investing so that you can be on the right side of inflation. That's the one I wanted to hear. So investing, simplify, but I love how Lummy put it. Becoming a content creator. Absolutely, Yvette. She said, thanks, royalty. Yes. See, we're not limited to just My Econ. You use My Econ as the hub, the foundation, and now you can springboard multiple streams of income off of My Econ because My Econ is a financial foundation. My Econ is a financial hub. It complements anything that you want to do. So when Yvette said content creation, yeah, we're marketing our business. We're showing people how we can help them hit their goals, whether it's credit, whether it's cash flow, whether it's debt elimination, investing, another stream of income. But when you create content about those things, then these social media platforms start to reward you in the form of pay, because the true currency nowadays is attention. See, a lot of the things that you see that is popular, and these people are popularized and become celebrities because they have your attention. Because they have your attention, that's why they're as rich as they are. If they did not have your attention, they wouldn't be that rich. So the true currency is attention. You can think about any celebrity. Beyonce came top of mind. You know, she can sell out an arena. She did it and, you know, had the highest paid female concerts ever in history. She know how to capitalize on attention. If she didn't know how to capitalize on attention, then she wouldn't be as wealthy as she is. And that's the same for athletes, you know, sports, music, coaches, etc. You name it. Deion Sanders, for example, and I love how he's operating, but he know how to keep and magnify and multiply attention. So attention is currency. So you got to understand the power of attention, and that's where content comes in. And then lastly, Xenia said meat. Yes, absolutely. Creating content using a meat strategy, motivation, education, anything, and then testimony. So My Econ is basically your one-stop shop for all your financial needs. That's what Lummy said. Absolutely. So that's how the income shifting strategy helps you overcome inflation. Now, let's talk about the details of overcoming inflation using leverage income and residual income. But first, let's talk about how much Americans make in wages. How much Americans make in wages. Now it says distribution of wage earners by level of net compensation. Net compensation. 48% of wage earners had net compensation less than or equal to the median wage, which is estimated to be $31,000 for 2017. So the average median wage or the median wage was $31,000. And it says that 48% had net compensation that was less than or equal to. So what they're basically saying is in 2017, people were earning equal to, on average, or less than 31,000 in a world where the cost of things are going up. 48% make less than 32,000 individually. So if you look in this circle, you'll see the percentages that break that down. So in the pink section, you got less than $5,000 is earned by 13%. And that's probably the biggest percentage on her. So it's 13% of people who make less than $5,000 net. 7.2%, 10K to 5K. 6.8%, 15,000 to 20,000. 6.4%, 25,000 to 30,000. The highest income earners, it's only 1.4% who earn $250,000 up to 50 million plus on average. It's only 1.4%. We need to figure out how to get in that smaller percentage and then empower others to increase their percentage or their income to be a part of the smaller percentage as well. Then you got 8.2% of people who earn 100,000 to 250,000. Then you got 2.8 that earn 60,000 to 65,000. So you can see how everybody lines up. So look in that circle and find where you line up. Now this was in 2017, so the percentages are different, but you know, you can look in there and just kind of see where you line up. So, okay, about 3% of people make what I make. Let's see if I can increase my percentage and become a part of the top 10% or top 20%, top 5%, top 1%. Set that goal. And that's another way to outpace inflation. Now, nearly half of all Black workers in the US make less than $15 an hour. How is anybody supposed to live? Because we talked about how everything is going up. So here's the math on the right side. $15 times 40 hours equals $600, which is $2,400 a month, which is $28,000 almost $29,000 a year for most Black workers. So $29,000, it's not going to go that far, especially when you think about all of the things that are going up, rent, all of these things. Unless a lot of people, live in a way that allows them to all live in a house together. If they're just trying to do it on their own, which what many people do, then $28,000 is not going to cut it. And that's why you see somebody protesting, fists in the air, pay us $15 now. They're requesting $15 because most of them are making less than $15 an hour. So they're really requesting $15 an hour. Now, I'm gonna say this, and hopefully this makes sense because I hope all of us have a wealth mindset, wealth consciousness in terms of how we think. In order to demand more in terms of money, you have to become more. See, a lot of times we can feel sorry for the person who makes less, but sometimes it's jobs that can easily be replaced. If all you can do is sweep a broom, sweep the floor, mop the floor, that job ain't worth that much in the eyes of the employer and in reality, because now they got robots and things of that nature that they can just put on the floor that's sweeping the floor, mopping the floor, hands free, and they just pay for that thing one time. They just got to keep it charged to maintain, and that's much less than them paying you $30,000 a year. So you have to become more, meaning you have to increase your value to the world, to the marketplace, so you can demand more. You have to become almost irreplaceable in order to demand more. So some people who request more income, they just haven't increased their value. And I mean that with all due respect. And you have to think like that as well. How replaceable or irreplaceable are you at your job? Because if they can easily replace you, then you're heading down the wrong path. You're heading to nowhere fast. It's a lot of jobs when I see certain things happen and I'm like, uh-oh, I hope they're paying attention. I hope they're paying attention. Like, for example, I was in the post office one day. I seen that they had incorporated this new kiosk that allowed people to do certain things, buy stamps, get certified mail, all at the kiosks. And they just kind of testing it out. And there was a young guy in there. I said, hey, you see that kiosk over there? He was like, yeah. I said, you ain't scared that, that can end up replacing the job, because he was working at the register, just selling the stamps and packaging the boxes, all of that. I said, you ain't scared that they can end up, taking your job? Because he was a young cat, so he probably had at least 25 plus more years before he could have retired from the post office if that's something he chose to do. And I asked him, what is that something that he was scared of or worried about? He was like, nah. He said, it'll take 10 years for that thing to get to working. Now, this was last year. You know how fast artificial intelligence and robotics is moving, to the point where 10 years, Kroger got that figured out now. They know how to kiosk some things and get the job done. So you better believe if they want to, they can make it to where it can replace people. So people got to think about that. Like, what is your job? What is it that you do? And how irreplaceable, how easy are you to replace? Because if they replace you, now you really got, your battle is bigger than inflation. If you no longer have a place of employment, then you got a way bigger battle than inflation. But you have to think about these things because it's important. I'm also looking at the people, and y'all probably see them in your area as well. When I saw the waste management trucks and they started giving away all of these containers to allow people to recycle, I was like, okay, they're giving away these containers. And if you start recycling, you're giving away the plastic, and it's good for, for the ecosystem. So it's a good thing, recycle. However, when I saw them drive those trucks, and all it required was one person, and now they had the little machine that reach out and grab the, container and dump all of the plastic into the truck, and they drive on. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. Then the trash man, they're starting to adopt it. So now they have trucks coming around. So some of these trash workers, people who dump trash, some people feel like, that's a good job. I work for the city dumping trash. Are you paying attention? And by you, I mean them. But you have to do this at your job too. See what they're trying to do or create that can replace you. Some people have secure, jobs like nurses, doctors, things of that nature, to take a while before they, replace that. But you got to think about what you do and how easy they can replace you. But these truckers, some of them aren't paying attention, and now they have these trucks coming through, and they've given out trash cans. They got the same machine that grabs it, dumps it. So they have two trucks that come to our street now. In the daytime, it's the regular truck where you got the men hanging from the back, and they grab all of the trash bags that somebody might have set out, to be taken. However, the load that they're taking is getting smaller and smaller because people are using the plastic containers more and more. It used to be a lot of work for them. Now when they come on the block, sometimes for the ones who have started converting over to using the container, sometimes they may come on our street and it's nothing for them to pick up or just a couple of bags. So if they think that their job is secure, they got another thing coming. Because then later on in the afternoon, the other truck is coming and it has the, the gripper to where it can just grab and dump. I give them about a year, probably less. Maybe I give them a year or two. They won't need that initial truck. And it's usually about 3 men who's on their job. You got the driver, you got 2 people on the back. So you got to think about these things. Increase your value as an individual. And that's what we want you to do in the world of the internet. When we talk about you creating content, you being able to educate people, you being able to serve and solve people's problems. We want to increase your value as an individual because we know this information is transferable. A lot of people need to understand financial literacy. A lot of people need to understand content creation, whether they realize it or not. And we're adding some other things to the toolbox to position people to increase their value as well, because we want you to become more value so that way you're not as easily replaceable. So these are the numbers of the Hispanic community. Key facts: by 2060, more than 1 in 4 people living in the US will be Latino. So that's 25%. And that's by 2060. Now, I think this number is they'll be at that number before 2060, just based on certain things. But hey, that's one of the things they say. The typical median Hispanic worker earns 72% of what the typical non-Hispanic white worker earns. Hispanic women earn just 55 cents for every dollar earned by non-Hispanic white men. The median income of Hispanic households, $42,500, nearly $18,000 less than the median income of non-Hispanic white households. The median net worth of Hispanic households is approximately 1/10 of that of non-Hispanic white households. Hispanic households are twice as likely to live in poverty as non-Hispanic white households. US-born Latinos are almost twice as likely to have a bachelor's degree. Foreign-born Latinos. Now, I will say this. I know they say, they're more likely to live in poverty. They make, this percentage less and, 50 cents, 55 cents less and $18,000 less and all of these things. But one thing about the Hispanics, they understand group economics and they understand how to partner up with each other. Some people might laugh how they packed in a vehicle together. Absolutely. They're carpooling, they're preserving their money, and they're able to live together, and they end up buying a large home that's like, somewhat of a mansion. But if they calculate all of the money that they're bringing in because there's multiple families living there together, they have more cash flow left over because they're not trying to do it all alone. So they're strategic with how they do it. So they paint these pictures as if, they're just impoverished. No, but they're operating with a level of genius as well. So, that's something to think about as well. I won't stay on that too long. All right, the average car payment used $488, average $531 new. That's average. So some more, some less. The average home payment $1,600. That was in 2019. I know that number is going up because a lot of people bought homes, and some people overpaid for homes. I think that's gonna hit them hard, because some people overpaid in home because of the supply and demand. There's a high demand for homes, so people were paying $20,000 more than asking. 50,000 more than asking. It got crazy at some point. And the price of the average apartment, 1,400. And some say that that's more, because this was, I believe, in 2019 for the apartment as well. Average household monthly income, $5,000, $5,600, minus taxes, $1,400. So you left with $4,200 in the average household income. So if you do the math on that $4,200, if you subtract the average price of a apartment, average price of a home, average price of a car note, just take a cold hard look at how much you may be left with, not including groceries, not include all the other things that y'all listed that have been going up. Gas, insurance rates, all of those things. So you just got to understand the math. So this is how that breaks down. The median income, $5,600 a month, minus the taxes, minus the housing, minus the transportation, medical benefits, and someone listed, food, gas, utilities, cell phone bill. That's $1,000 deficit. That's $1,000 deficit, meaning they're in the negative 1,000 if they just calculate based on this example. This is why you got to outpace inflation, because all of the items underneath the income represent inflation. This is why you can't just limit yourself to just one stream of income, because most people are paying multiple streams of bills on one stream of income. So when somebody shies away from earning extra income, but knowingly they're paying 8, 9, 10 plus bills, that doesn't make sense. It make you scratch your head like my boy on the screen right there. He's scratching his head like, what the hell? I done made this, but I done paid out this. How am I in a deficit? And he working hard, probably no work some overtime on salary, but he got him scratching his head at the end of the month because the math ain't math. So that just make note of that. Companies that use leverage system. Now, like I stated, this particular presentation is about you understanding how to leverage and make more income. We already know the cash flow strategies that MyEcon has available to help you increase your cash flow, the W-4 adjustment, debt elimination, boosting your credit so you can save money on interest, invest the money so you can grow your wealth. But you also want to create some leverage income, some leverage systems to generate income, as these companies do. You see you see McDonald's, you see Jiffy Lube, you see GM, you see Macy's. They just put these 4 on here, but it's tons. Everybody's using leverage system to generate income, but most individuals are not. So you see this corporation, McDonald's, they got the franchise model to where, they're leveraging locations, they're leveraging workers, etc. Because of this concept, McDonald's feeds 5% of the US population daily. So on the daily, they're feeding 5%. That's not where we eat, but they're very profitable in terms of their leverage system because they're thinking in terms of putting themselves in multiple places. That's the same thing that MyEcon allows you to do. When you grow your team and grow your network, you have the ability to expand yourself, not to mention the multiple products that we have, not to mention the value that people get by being a part of MyEcon. So don't ever feel bad about tapping into leverage. Sometimes people are like, I don't want to make money off of people. I don't want to make money when other people make money. No, that's the wrong way of thinking. Because if the value is there, if they invested $99 a month, and that's not even what MyEcon, the investment is. But if they invested $99 a month, but the value was $1,000 a month, $500 a month, $200 a month, then it was well worth it. Plus, that $99 a month in that example is 100% tax deductible and creates the ability for them to have no salary cap and earn as much income as they want. So understand the value. Now you're able to grow together and you're incentivized by seeing them win. And the person who you bring in has the ability to pass you in income. So don't feel bad about, earning money with somebody. That's what this model is all about. That allows people to work together and grow together and build wealth together. So in this example, y'all already know how MyEcon works for the most part, but I just do, overview. So the benefits is low startup cost. So it's almost like a franchise. We can't call it that, but it's like a franchise. You got tax advantages. Every dollar you spend associated with MyEcon and some things that you understand how to make tax deductible outside of MyEcon. That's a way to outpace inflation. Huge tax deduction, ready-made products and services, easy expansion, unlimited opportunity for new partners, replicates the proven franchise system, opportunity to build leverage and residual income. Quick difference. Leverage income is, the upfront that comes from people that may come to your team or in your organization. That's leverage income. Based on the rank that you're at, you get a certain dollar amount. Residual income is based on a person paying their monthly membership. Based on your rank, you get a percentage of that. So you got leverage and residual income working in your favor, and it helps you outpace inflation. And the best investment that you can make is in your business. Like if you do the math and you truly invested in your business, whether it was ads, whether it was flyers, whether it was time, if you truly invested in your business, you can get a way higher rate of return by investing in your business than you would investing in the stock. Now, this is not to discredit stocks or stop investing in the market. It's just to paint a picture to say that, listen, if you invested $100 in your business, there's a good chance you can turn that $100 into $200 in a short amount of time. If you invest $100 in the stock market, it's a good chance that in most cases, unless you look up or know what you're doing, you're not going to multiply that money all in one calendar year. It's just that's typically not how it happens. It may increase by 8%, 12%. We've talked about some things that can have higher potential percentages. And if you hop on other MyEcon trainings, of course, there are some other opportunities out there, but your business gives you the ability to make money from a standpoint of your work ethic and using leverage and residual income. So just wanted to point that out. Now, I won't get into the compensation. They're just talking about how you can get up to $76 upfront, up to $15 monthly from the residual income. But just understand the importance of outpacing inflation and leveraging additional income in addition to the MyEcon strategies. Because if you're not, then you find yourself in a deficit. You find yourself in this position, and this is not the position that you want to be in due to the fact that it's always somebody on the outside who has a strategy to get your money, but you have to have a strategy to keep your money. We're in October right now. Holidays are rolling up. So people are already setting up decorations and trying to get into your pockets and have a piece of what it is that you have. Thanksgiving will be no different. Black Friday will be no different. Cyber Monday will be no different. Brown Thursday will be no different. Christmas, New Year's, the whole 9 yards. They have a strategy to get your money, but you have to have a strategy to keep, grow, and multiply your money. And that's what this is all about, outpacing inflation. Now, the other thing that we've added to the toolbox, and we're still trying to figure out some things because we always try to give people in, our team in the royalty movement the opportunity to grow and get money with us. Anytime we see something that makes sense, that fits, we always want to do that. So we've done that with, credit repair. If a person wants to launch their own credit repair business, then you can get access and I can teach you directly how you can start generating income with the credit repair business. Because I have a whole course that was created and royalty movement members get a deep discount. Right now, the general public will have to pay $1,000 plus, and it will go to $3,000 in order to get access to that. But royalty members can get access to it for like $497, like $500, 100% tax deductible, and teach you ways on how you can have $1,000 days, or even some great residual monthly based on how I price the monthly. Plus, learn some things and understand credit on another level. That's another income stream that complements my econ, complements financial literacy, and could put you in a position to win. So we've thrown that out there. That's available on the royaltymovement.com right there under asset accumulation. That's one thing. We've also opened up the door for those who want to start understanding how to prepare taxes, become a tax preparer, and create another stream of income in that way. We put that information out there, just trying to let you get in position by leveraging what you've already been talking about, which is personal finances and financial literacy, to create additional streams of income to outpace inflation and hit your goal sooner. The last thing that we're adding currently to the toolbox is, for those of you who know or do not know, me and Ms. Smith both passed our real estate exam. So you're listening to some future realtors who have already been teaching about finances, teaching people how to lower their debt to income ratio, better their credit, and get in position. Now we can actually take them through the whole process of bettering their finances, bettering their credit, and get in the position to buy a home. And we got an extra piece that not all realtors will talk about, because yes, we want to position people to buy a home, and we want to sell a home or help a person sell their home or help a person buy their first home. But when we got our home, we took a different approach. And I think this gives us an upper hand. When we bought our home, we bought it off the market. So it wasn't for sale to the public. You couldn't find it on, realtor.com or in the MLS because it wasn't for sale. It never was for sale. I had an understanding of, okay, I know how to find out who owns certain property. I contacted the property owner, bought the home off the market, way under the value, and bought it with equity. Like, it's people who live near us who paid double, almost triple what we paid for ours because we got it off the market. So me knowing that, it's a couple of different angles that will position people to win as realtors. But we want to extend that as well for those of you who are interested. We wouldn't mind some other realtors jumping on board if that's something you're interested in. Now, we're trying to work out a couple of things. So we were able to do real estate school without paying a dime for the schooling, but it's a couple of things we, have to figure out to see if that's something we can extend to everybody. But the goal is for us to build wealth, a solid financial foundation, and tap into abundance. Leveraging my econ is the foundation, but if it's some other things that you're interested in and you have a passion for it, not just doing it just for the sake of making money, because that will phase out. Like, it's one thing, because a lot of people, they just chase the shiny object. Yeah, I really want to do this, and they just chasing the money. Well, if you're not going to be in a position to commit to it and stick to it long term, when somebody tells you no, or something not working, or you have a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, which happens in entrepreneurship, you're not going to have what it takes to push through. So you got to have what it takes to push through, not just jumping into it just because it has the potential to make you some money. That's the problem that many people are not telling you. It's so many people that told you that you can Airbnb and, rent your car out and start a trucking business and do all of these things. They telling you the highlight portion, but there's some people who put themselves in a bad predicament because they were chasing just the money aspect of it, and it wasn't a passion, and they weren't able to push through beyond to be able to get profitable. So make sure anything that you're interested in that we bring in front of you, that is something you have a passion to push through. It just makes sense for us because we've been talking about finances for so long. So now what it does is allow the work that we've already been doing to not go in vain. See, if we was to take a whole nother route that had nothing to do with finances, it kind of leaves some of the potential of what we've been building for the past 10 years on the table. So that's the purpose, making sure it's in alignment with what you're already doing, because it just makes the work that you do on a day-to-day seamless. And if it taps into a passion or something that you're interested in, it's a win-win scenario. So let's overcome inflation using income shifting strategies as well as generating more income, leverage income, residual income. That is what it's all about. It's not the top of the hour, but I want to open up for questions. And then, I got a little bit that I'll talk to anybody, some of the builders who want to make money, just show you something, pretty much a new presentation that's been provided by my econ. But any questions, let me set it up so anyone can unmute. Give me 1 second. All right, so I'm open up for any questions, feedback, comments. It can be about overcoming inflations or not. Either way, you can unmute. Give it a go. Any aha moments, whatever. I appreciate the congratulations. I see people saying congratulations for us passing a real estate exam. Absolutely. It was definitely learning a new language, but we want to, add more value, become more valuable, as I stated. Somebody unmute just to let me know that the unmute feature is available.
Miss Angela.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you. So any questions about tonight, overcoming inflation? Did that all make sense? I take it that it all made sense. I know it wasn't, nothing that was brand new. You've heard this before. So it wasn't like you just learning something brand new. However, hopefully it gave you some new insight to think about how people are robbing you of your wealth by increasing their prices. And in a way, the companies have to do that, because if they have to pay more for certain foods when the companies deliver them, and they got to pay more because the trucks who deliver it had to pay more in gas, they're not just going to eat that expense. They have to increase their prices to make sure that their profit stays the same or better, and they pass down that inflation to you. So that's how it works. So say a farmer grows their product, if they have to sell it at a higher price because they're paying more in gas, then okay, now the trucking company that comes to pick up this product, they have to charge more when they deliver it to the grocery store because they would charge more. So in order to maintain profits, they increase their prices. And now by the time it makes it to the grocery store, guess what? The grocery store say, you know what? I'm not going to just eat this new high price. Let me pass this down to the consumer, which is you and I. So when we go in there and buy the products and services and we see that chips are $2 more, double what it was, now we realize that they just passed the inflation down. They don't feel it. So that's how you have to get. You have to get in the mindset of saying, okay, where can I pass this inflation down? And that's what we talked about. Tax deductions, earning more income, investing your money and growing it. Any other questions before we proceed to the second part of the training? Talk to me.
Yeah, trying to go to sleep.
King Lami, you got a question or you just accidentally unmuted?
That was by accident, King.
All right, it's all good. It's all good. You see anything in the chat?
Nope.
All right, perfect. All right, perfect. So I take it that it was clear. All right, I'm gonna show my screen. For those of you who aren't interested in earning or making income and tapping into overcoming inflation by generating or having another stream of cash flow, this concludes tonight's training. Just wanted to, hopefully make this an eye-opener in terms of what's going on when the prices go up and what you can do about it, and how my econ can help you take advantage if you take advantage of what it is that you have available to you. If you have not gone through the training, I highly recommend it. It puts more money into your pocket. If you have not started bettering your credit, I highly recommend it. It puts more money into your pocket. If you have not started eliminating your debt and using the cash flow strategy, I highly recommend it. It increases your net worth and positions you to retire, not just comfortably, but possibly early once you understand it. So really take full advantage of it. So That being said, I conclude this segment with the mission statement, then I'll get into the second portion. You see, we live in a world where we are conditioned for failure. And oftentimes we have been programmed or fooled into mediocrity. So people find themselves living like peasants instead of the royalty that they were meant to be. But you see here in the royalty movement, we see the king in you. We see the queen in you from start to finish. It's just time for you to take your seat on the throne, because this is where we uplift your character, your confidence, and your cash flow. As royalty, you should establish a solid financial foundation that'll soon lead to your abundance and thriving empire. Take your seat on the throne. You are royalty. Salute. All right, I'm gonna get into the second part, and y'all can have the rest of y'all night. This shouldn't take that long. I just saw this new presentation and was like, okay, let me go ahead and share it with the team, with the squad, so they can see it, and then take advantage of it if you so choose. Because my econ is about creating multiple streams of income all in one place. All in one place. Sometimes it's not about just seeking outward on what you already have within. So my econ created a new travel presentation. So for some of you, this can be a benefit if you choose to take this route. Travel can be a fun topic. If you travel or like to travel any bit, then when you post pictures and things of that nature, some of that content will get some of the best interaction. And what better way than to lure them in even more? Now that they see where you are, they like where you are, and you say, hey, I was able to save 50% on this trip because of my membership. I was able to save 70%, 40%, 20%. And they know that they plan to travel and they would love to save money as well. It's a fun way to make money because you're talking about travel. Now, for those of you who've been rocking with us for a while, you know the travel membership used to be known as Elevation Travel. They changed the name due to some conflict in the naming to Zingo Travel. There was some conflict in another travel company that had Elevation in it. So in order to avoid any hiccups or, lawsuits and things that can come along with similar names, they changed it to Zingo Travel. Now, the same rules apply in terms of what the membership does. So even if you don't like the name, love the name, don't really matter. Can you save up to 70% when you travel? Absolutely. Can you travel and make it 100% tax deductible? Absolutely. Can you still use the portal to book all of the things as it relates to travel expenses, when you have the membership? Absolutely. If you do not have this travel membership, I highly recommend that you can upgrade in your back office for like extra $5. $5. You can upgrade. If you need to know how to upgrade, let us know. We can show you how to get it upgraded tonight. But it doesn't take nothing for you to upgrade. And I promise you, you'll save way more money than it costs you. Even if it costs you $200 a year, which it doesn't. In many cases, you'll save that on one trip. One trip. Ask us how we know. Because we booked travel, got free hotel before, and we've saved $500, $600 all in one trip. And that ain't even calculating all of the other things that we've done throughout the years that we've had this travel membership. So it definitely is worth its weight in gold, as they like to say, but up to 70% in travel. So make travel your business. Save money doing what you love and sharing your experiences. Travel is one of those things that, I don't see us escaping. People like to vacate the premises, go to different places. They travel for need or necessity, or just to, do whatever they choose to do. And it's a fun thing to talk about. So here's some travel facts. Top research word and hashtag online. Now, I'm thinking they talking the word travel itself is the top research word, and hashtag travel is the top research hashtag, not travel facts. They just put that in the slide, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about the hashtag travel. A lot of people are searching that hashtag because a lot of people love to travel, or at least get inspired when they see other people travel. It's a $9 trillion global business. It's a desire and a necessity, and Forbes ranked travel the #1 work from home anywhere job. Now, it's a lot of companies out here, a lot of travel companies out there. And we know of people in these companies who can't beat our prices. So even though they may have a great thing going in terms of their company and how they're marketing and things of that nature, when it comes to booking travel, we know people who are in that company and promote that company heavily, but they use our membership when they really finna book their real travel because it's just better. So a person can be pitching a company because they get compensated by recruiting people and getting them into business. But when it come down to travel and booking, they right over here with the MyEcon travel portal, booking their travel. So do not sleep on this. Do not, fall victim to just the glitz and glam of what it appears without doing your due diligence of tapping into what you already have access to inside of the MyEcon membership. And if you don't have access to it, upgrade. 100% tax deductible, and thank me later. If you're already booking your own travel, you were made for this. Saving money on travel, made easy. Now, keep in mind, this is a presentation, so I'm not presenting to you. I'm just letting you know what it looks like, because this may be something that you choose to use. I was talking to a team member earlier, and she's taking the approach based on what she said. She wants to share our travel perks and membership with sports organization in her area, because she realizes that it's a lot of people that travel for sports, year round. And right now football is, in high gear. It's a lot of people traveling. So she's contacted some of the, professional teams and wanting to say, hey, is this something that you would mind offering your attendees, them having the ability to travel at a discount? So that's a good thought process. So maybe you can be thinking bigger, like, hey, who can I position to get access to my membership? You're still letting them know they're still going to be booking their own travel. Not like you're a travel agent, you're booking it for them. No, we're not. That's not the extra work that you're doing. You don't want those problems for a couple of different reasons. People already know how to book travel. All they need to do is just get access to your membership. When they book travel, they win, you win. It's a win-win scenario. So think outside the box, as well as using the things that we've already been doing from a strategy standpoint online. But just knowing what you have and how it might be groups of people. You might be a part of certain organizations. You might be a part of churches, class reunions, Greek. You might be in a sorority or fraternity. You might be a Mason, Eastern Star. You might be a part of these different organizations. Well, they travel. And if you have an inside with them, meaning that they trust you to some degree, then guess what? They may be likely to book travel through you. Somebody is unmuted. If you would, make sure you're muted on your end. Make sure you are muted on your end. Somebody is unmuted, so I don't have to get out of this screen. But think outside of the box and think inside of your network, because you'll be surprised how many people might benefit from this. Now, save up to 70% off your travel. That's what I told you. But then you earn rewards and credits and get up to 110% price guarantee. Basically, what that says is if you find a better price, they're willing to pay you the difference plus 10%. So say you found some travel, the exact same travel on Zingo Travel here inside of MyEcon. Say it was $500, but you found it somewhere else for $450. So they beat our price by $50. They're willing to pay you that $50 plus 10%, which is an extra $5. 10% of $50, $5. So they'll pay you $55 to make sure that they said, okay, you found somebody that beat our price, we're gonna give you the difference plus 10%. So they give you that back. We was trying to beat the price just so we can tap into that 110%. And each time our travel beat the other company, even if it was just by a few dollars, it beat them. And when you're booking our travel, it's gonna show all of the fees and taxes included. Sometimes when you're on the verge of booking travel, it looked like you got the best deal. So you get to that checkout. Who know what I'm talking about? When you get to that checkout and them fees add up and it's an extra $180, depending on what type of travel you're booking. If you're booking a full vacation for your fam, whatever the case may be, it's an extra $180. Somebody know what I'm talking about. So when you see our prices, it includes the fees and everything. So that way it's no, you're not caught off guard. Most of the time, if it say that it's $215, by the time you get to the checkout, it's really $214.72. They just round it up. So that's very important. Over 1 million hotels and resorts, over 15,000 cruises, thousands of vacation homes and villas, 50 rental car companies, flights all over the world, excursions, activities, and more. So this is not just limited to travel. It's also excursions, activities. You can book that in here, rental cars, and you might not need everything at once, but individually you have your full-fledged travel portal that you can use. And I didn't even say this, I don't know if it's in here, but once you have this travel membership, you can add like up to 3 or 4 people. So if you got it in your household, you really bought the membership, and now it's 3 or 4 close family members that can use it as well, because you can add their name to the system. It's very important. So if you have the membership, not only does your spouse have a membership, obviously, but you might have a sibling or somebody that you travel with out there. You say, hey, I can add you to my travel membership. Y'all can share the price, share the cost if you want to, but you get to add a couple of other people to the membership. So that's, powerful within itself. Got the easy using booking portal, No training needed. People know how to book travel. They've been doing it all this time anyway. Undefeated in terms of the price savings. Right here, you see that, you know, the public price for this, this was a Sandals Montego Bay couples only trip, 2 adults, 4 nights. Public price, $6,700. They saved $3,500. So total with tax, like I told you, total with tax, it was $3,219. So you can either pay the public price of $6,000 plus, because somebody paid that. Several people probably paid that. They probably booked with a travel agent. They had them to pay that. And the travel agent got a little commission. Well, over here, you book it yourself, you save $3,000. I don't know if booking with a travel agent was worth $3,500 that you would have saved booking it through yourself. Just saying. This right here is an example of Expedia. So showing their price was like $67.81 as well. So just showing that, you know, ours beat it. Undefeated. These are cruises. So you got this person saved up to $2,200 by booking the travel. And you got access to this presentation, so I don't want to go through all of the details. But if you look in by the check marks, you'll see save up to $3,600, save up to $2,300 just by booking through our travel membership. So you can book cruises. This was Mexico, 5 nights, 2 adults. Public price was $7,900. They saved $6,100. Paid less than $2,000 instead of $7,900 using our travel membership. That's crazy. But I've seen stuff like that. So I'm like, dang, it's 80% less over here just by booking through our own membership. The other Mexico spot, public price $5,100. They saved $3,800, paid $1,200. The Grand Blitz, public price $3,700. They saved $2,600, paid $1,000, tax included. So if you don't have this, if you don't think it's worth upgrading for an extra $5 a month, we must not be looking at the same math. Vegas, for anybody who like to go to Vegas, I like Vegas. So, you know, Vegas got some inexpensive hotels anyway, but when you book it through, you know, your travel portal, you can save $1 as well. Public price, $450. They say $275, so they pay $178 with taxes. That's just $54 a night. So they was able to stay there, you know, several nights in a 4-star hotel. So I haven't even been looking at the ratings. That's 5-star hotel. These 5-star hotels, it's not staying in a hole in a wall. It's not the motel where they keep the light on. This ain't that. This, you staying in, you know, good quality. We don't want you out here anywhere having to watch it back. 4-star, 5-star, you know, 3.5, whatever your preference. And then travel as a consumer, membership only access. These are just for the travel only. So if a person just wants the annual one time, like I said, it's not $200 a year, but you can pay $139.95, cover your whole year. You'll say that in the first trip. And it's tax deductible if you use this system to make money. But that's just travel only. But if you only want to travel and not access to the membership to where you can resell it, then it's not tax deductible unless you got some other things that you know how to do to make it tax deductible. But they can get access to it for $139, or they can get the membership for $39.95 to join, and then it's just $13.95 a month if they just want travel only. This is travel only, full access to the travel savings and perks, no access to earn income or business advantages. So this doesn't come with the tax deduction. That's not the best bang for your buck. We want you to not only be able to get the travel discounts, but make that thing tax deductible. So travel as an entrepreneur, the ultimate travel membership, which is what we have, which is what many of you have, it's $49.95 to get started, $49.95 a month after 30 days. So it's one clean price. You're paying $50 a month. Now, mind you, that gets you access to the whole MyEcon membership as well. So $39.95 of that is your MyEcon membership. You really just paying an extra $10 to have access to the discount travel, business management portal, income opportunities, tax benefits, automated marketing system, financial success membership, our weekly and residual income with the travel membership, plus getting all of the tax deductions that come along with it. And then, you know, of course, unlimited income, upfront payout. We ain't gonna go into all the details, but, you know, take a screenshot if necessary so you can see that you earn upfront up to $76 if a person, because somebody can pay $99 to get access to this. $49 is actually the discounted amount. That's the special offer. But it's people who pay publicly who join and get this service for $99. If so, you earn $76. But if they join for the $49 discount, which is what's on our website, you know, the residual can be up to $13, but you earn upfront as well. So you see the upfront payout is $42 for the annual membership. If they pay annual, $42. If they pay for the monthly, upfront is $14. If they do the monthly travel membership, the monthly residual is $4. So they're paying $14, you're getting $420. And depending on how many people have joined your membership, that can add up. That can start replacing some of your monthly bills, replacing some of your rent, replacing your mortgage, getting you to a place to where, like I said earlier in the previous portion of the training, where you're outpacing inflation through the income that you're able to earn. So that's the Ultimate Travel Membership. And if you think about it from an angle of what you can do on a weekly basis, if you get a weekly sales of the Ultimate Business membership, 5 weekly sales, you paid up to $380. And then, active members of $250 will have your monthly residual of $3,000. A lot of times for a lot of people, that can give you some financial freedom. If all of your expenses are less than $3,000 and you got a passive $3,000 coming in, that's financial freedom. And this is you keeping your day job. You don't have to quit your day job, but if your day job is paying you however much it's paying you, but you got a passive $3,000 coming in that covers all of your expenses, that's a level of financial freedom. See, financial freedom ain't just about becoming a millionaire. It's about having a passive stream of income that can replace all of your bills. Think in that mindset. You can use MyEcon to do that. You can use the travel membership to do that. You can use both to do that. If you had a weekly sale of 20, now you got weekly pay of up to $1,500. Yearly active members, 1,000 people, $13,000 in monthly residual. MyEcon got deep pockets. They don't have no problem with paying out. So if you got a team and you're producing, then you get paid out. And now you're really positioning yourself for freedom and you really outpacing inflation. So money making marketing tips, you can share your personal travel experiences and savings. Most of the people, when they travel, they like to take pictures, show that they out, and about in a different area. And it's just an easy conversation. You just got to get good at throwing a little call to action at thing. Hey, I was able to, or a little pitch. Hey, I was able to save $580 on this trip. Everybody else paid more. How? Ask me how. And now people are requesting information. You can share your travel deals directly from the portal. You can talk about why you got started and how you will travel more for less. Whatever you want to do to incorporate it and make it fun, get creative with it. So this is the presentation. Of course, it says get back to the person who invited you, but I'm not presenting to you. I'm just showing you what the membership looks like and letting you know that you can be a product of your own product and use it. And then just talk about what it is that you're doing. And that creates another stream of income on top of MyEcon. And you can do it in a fun, way. So that's it. I just want to show y'all this new presentation that MyEcon cooked up. It was released I want to say 2 days ago. Don't quote me on it, but it was released very, very recently. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. I don't want to keep you too long. I want to let you know how it's important to outpace inflation. What we got going on here. And I want to let you know the new presentation for those of you who want to take advantage of the travel income opportunity, especially as the end of the year approaches, where a lot of travel is kicking up. People are going to be traveling for all of the holidays. People travel year round anyway, but for the holidays, people are going to be moving around. So that being said, why not get compensated so they're not paying these public prices and you're saving them up to $70? Very helpful. Glad. Yo, Rashida, I'm glad you saw this. You definitely need to see that. That's in the back office, so you can access it, download it, and you can use it for what you're trying to do. Any questions, comments, feedback before we wrap up? I see we still got 20 plus people rocking with us.
I have a question.
Okay, talk to me.
So when we market it, you don't use the word agent.
You talking about travel agent?
Yeah, like if you marketing this.
Great question. Yeah, you wouldn't use the word agent because we're not travel agents. You're not booking it for them. So travel agent usually represents you're booking it for them. With this, you're giving them access to their own travel membership. So, that's pretty much what it is. They get access to a travel membership, or many people like to use the term travel club. Get access to my travel club, save up to 100, save up to 70%. And if you find a better price, they'll pay you up to 110% of the difference. So if they're joining a travel club, they can be a part of something, not being an agent. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great question. Because marketing is going to be key. So you don't mislead to have people thinking, we're travel agents. Nah, they book and travel anyway. We show them how to book it at a discount so they don't have to pay, extra fees unless they choose. If they want to pay $6,000 instead of $3,200, let them do it. But you can at least educate them on how you can save them some money. And then if they choose to get on this side and join this club, then they can benefit. But great question. Anybody else? Let me check the chat real quick before we wrap up. I promise you, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Very helpful word. I love it. Congratulations. Okay, cool. Question going once. One twice. All right, perfect. Hopefully y'all got some value. If you do not have a travel membership, upgrade. Do that like now. You can go to the back office, click on my account, and you should see the ability to upgrade. I think it's even easier now. Matter of fact, on the home screen, since they made the update, you can click on the travel portion. You'll see a lock that says that you do not have the travel membership. You click on it and upgrade there. So they made it even easier. Extra $5, and I challenge you to use it as soon as you can. Even if it's just a staycation. You don't always have to be going, to Mexico or using your passport, getting a passport stamp in order to travel now. Sometimes you might want to book a rental car or do a staycation or somewhere nearby. Test it out. See if it can save you the money. And if not, then, don't keep it. But I highly doubt that you would not save money. So take advantage of that. Understand how to outpace inflation, because I promise you there's a lot of people lined up to rob you of your wealth. And if you don't protect it, they're going to get you. But we want to make sure that you understand what you have in MyEcon so you don't fall into that category. You see, we live in a world where we're conditioned for failure. And oftentimes we have been programmed or fooled into mediocrity. So people find themselves living like peasants instead of the royalty that they were meant to be. But you see here in the royalty movement, we see the king in you. We see the queen in you from start to finish. It's just time for you to take your seat on the throne, because this is where we uplift your character, your confidence, and your cash flow. As royalty, you should establish a solid financial foundation that'll soon lead to your abundance and thriving empire. We want you to take your seat on the throne because you are royalty. Salute. Love y'all. Let's get it.
Cinco, I had one more question. Somebody asked me about the cash flow manager earlier.
Okay.
The pricing of it, because it's not included in the $39.95.
It is included in the $39.95. If they got the membership, they also got the cash flow manager.
Okay.
Now they got to make sure they click on it within their website, because if they just go to the website as just somebody visiting their site, it's gonna look like they gotta pay for it.
Okay, that's what it is then. Okay.
Yeah, make sure if they have a membership, they log in, and then they click on the cash flow manager. It'll open up. They'll just have to log in. Make sure they're logged in, and they'll be able to use it. Follow the steps.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Great question. Well, I salute y'all. Love y'all.
Can they
have a good week.
buy the cash flow membership separately or no?
Say that one more time.
Can they buy the cash flow membership like separately as a standalone or no? It gotta be.
Yeah, they can buy the cash flow manager separately. It can be bought separately. In fact, I think they get if you use your affiliate link associated with the cash flow manager, I think they get to try it out for 7 days for free. And then I think monthly it's either anywhere from $10 to $15. Don't quote me, but it's inexpensive. But they can try it out 7 days for free, and you get a $5 monthly residual for any and everybody who continues to keep that monthly cash flow manager.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great question. Anybody else want to slide in a last minute question before we wrap up? All right. Well, I had fun. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I had this recorded, so hopefully I can distribute it and get it out ASAP. See y'all soon. Let's have a great week. Salute.